What is up, YouTube Live? I'm waiting to let some people jump in here to start this live YouTube broadcast that I'm trying to start doing on a daily basis. I tried last night, but I think I had too many beers and it just didn't happen. Anyway, I want a couple people to jump on before I kind of lay into what I want to talk about. So that's why I just put on a video. That's what I'm probably going to do, just play a couple of videos and some things that I've been hearing about, kind of like sports or news, kind of make fun of it. Hope everybody's doing good. I always like this video. I like the colors in it, and just the way it was produced is really good. And Testament is pretty good. If you guys followed Testament, they've been around for a long time. You can also chat on the chat thread that I have on the YouTube channel. If you're there, if you're out there and you can hear me loud and clear, kind of put a comment up there and I'll respond to it. So that's a funny scene there in that video. Yeah, I dig the animation in this video. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I wanted to wait till a couple people jumped on and see that I was live on YouTube, but I really dig this video. It's pretty cool. Hey, so what is going on with everybody out there in YouTube land? I hope you're having a good day, a good Thursday. It's a beautiful day out in South Texas. So I'm going to jump in here, and so I'll just kind of jump in and start talking about whatever. Like I said, if you want to talk about something or bring something up, I don't mind. Put it on the chat, and I'll respond to it, and we can go from there. If not, then you're just going to get me kind of just blabbing. I don't know if you want to, hear that for as long as I'll be on, but, I mean, who knows? So I don't know about you guys, but I'm a huge fan of October. I love October. I love the fall, but in Texas we really don't get the nice. Well, we've had some good weather lately, so I can't complain. But I love the time of the year, October. I love it because they bring out a bunch of beer, and you got Oktoberfest coming up. I love drinking German beer. But they're playing all these Halloween movies. And last night, I was flipping through channels and they had Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm sure you guys seen it. But I started watching it, and then Freddy came out, and it didn't look like Freddy. It looked like somebody else. I was like, who in the hell? Who's that guy? He just looked bad. He looked like a well, I don't know how to word it, but he just didn't look like the Freddy I remember. And that's what you get with these reboots of these movies. They kind of screw them up. I mean, you remember the original Freddy Krueger movies. I think the first and second ones were my favorite, growing up. But I dig horror flicks. That's one of my favorite things. But sometimes I let those things get to me. I know you're going to laugh at me and be like, how could you be afraid of a movie on TV? But when you're watching them by yourself, and some of these movies, they really can get to. I remember Paranormal Activity. When that first came out, it just creeped me out. I don't know what. Well, I think it was because the one part that freaked me out about that movie was when the girlfriend was standing on the side of the bed watching her boyfriend sleep for hours. That creeped me out. I was like, whoa. So I always have that in the back of my mind. Like, man, you always freak out on things like that. And other people you ask, because, this time of year, we watch a lot of horror flicks, right? We like to get ready for Halloween. I don't know about you, but that's what I do. I mean, if you look behind me, I got all my vinyls that I've got from Waxworks. And I enjoy the whole vibe of Halloween. I don't go to parties anymore like I used to. I don't dress up. I never was much of a person who dressed up. I think as a kid I was. We used to have those. I don't know who put them out. I think on Rob Zombie's website, they put out these vintage masks, like a package of 5. These old vintage masks you can buy. They're like paper. And I was like, whoa, I remember those. Because that's what we used to get. We used to get the old cheap ones like the Fred Flintstone or like the Casper the Ghost. It's like, how are we going to scare anybody with that? Like a paper garbage bag that you put over you. It was like a costume, and you were like, okay, I'm going to join, and you go to school that way. It was hilarious. But I don't dress up anymore. I don't know about you, and I just don't. I find it funny how, during Halloween, the ladies, they end up getting a lot sexier than they do, well, some scare you, but some are dress up very provocative to Halloween parties, and that's their costume. Hey, to each his own, right? I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying I don't dress up anymore. Anyway, back to the movies. I know I ask a lot of people around me, like, hey, what's your favorite horror flick? And they come out with something. I mean, I consider myself a guy that follows, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one was like, I couldn't stop watching it over and over. I was fascinated by it when I first started watching it as a youth. I was fascinated. But then you run across The Exorcist, and you're like, oh boy. Yeah. And then everything changes, because then you don't want to close the door in the restroom. You're like, shit, I'm freaked out. I can't sleep. And that those movies will do that to you. I don't know about you guys. Some guys are like, and some of you people out there are kind of like, I don't care. I don't watch it. It doesn't freak me out. Yeah, it doesn't freak you out because you don't sit there and watch it and listen to the storyline. Yeah, that's exactly why it doesn't freak you out. Take some time. Sit down and check it out. See what you think. I think it's creepy as hell. But I love all the Halloween movies. I watch Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 3. And that's as far as I go. I was trying to watch the Rob Zombie Halloween remake, and it was just too crazy. It was it was insanely just very just overdone terror, man. Just like hardcore fucking slasher film. I couldn't get into it. So, yeah, but it's that time of year, right? We're rolling into we're a few weeks away from Halloween. So, I just dig the whole vibe of Halloween. Like I'm telling you, when you get to drink new beers, the weather changes in the morning and in the evening. Here in Texas, by like that off once you get to work, because it's gonna get hot. It's gonna be in the 80s or 90s, which it was a brutal summer this year. So anyway, I don't know. Comment on the chat below and tell me what flicks freak you out and which one is your favorite one. I put a video out about soundtracks, like the music that creeps you out, because I know there's music that creeps me out. With some of these movies, these soundtracks come out, like The Omen. Let's see if we can find that. Let's see if we can find The Omen. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Let's check this out. Tell me what it does for you. Oh, that's not it. Okay, let's wait till the commercial's over, then we'll bring it up. Okay, here we go. See, that trips me out. Right away, I'm like, oh shit. Especially if it's dark and there's nobody around and you're like, damn. Shit, I better go get a knife or something. Have a weapon ready. You just never know. Yeah, that right there to me is fucking creepy. I don't know about you. You tell me what soundtrack or song trips you out in oh, see, man, that's just getting intense. I don't know what they're saying, but whatever they're saying, it's scary. I've always tried to sit down and watch Rosemary's Baby. And I'll watch it. It's an old flick. So it was well done. It just, I mean, I got to the end of that. I was like, whoa. It freaked me out. But nowadays, you don't get that vintageness of these classic horror films. Like, I was a huge fan of Friday the 13th when it came out. We used to go to the drive-in to go see those movies. And that was always fun, going to the drive-in with your friends. It was cool. I know they're trying to bring back the drive-ins, but I don't know if it'd probably be too modernized now. Or what? Like, I guess you use Bluetooth to put the sound of the movie into your car. Like, who wants to sit in their car and watch a movie? No. Or in your truck or whatever, in the bed. No, I'm out. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm digging all the movies. Like right now, they have Halloween. I think the first Halloween movie is on AMC. And that's cool. See, I can watch this all day long. It'd be a Halloween movie marathon. And then I'll change it up and probably watch. I don't know if there's any baseball games on tonight, or I think there was one in progress earlier. I don't know which one. But I know there's some kind of sport event going on. I think the Spurs are still playing their preseason games. Don't quote me on that. I'm not following it closely, so I don't know. Yeah, so I hope everybody, like I said, I appreciate everybody jumping on. If you're on here, checking out this live YouTube, and I'm glad that we're able to do things like this, right? To come out and go live, see what everybody's up to, or you just can like sit here and talk to yourself. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just like, it's been one of those years for me that has been up and down. Started out good, and it just doesn't stay in line, man. Things happen. So hopefully things will pick up. Right now I got a lot of free time on my hands, so I'll be doing things like this until I find a project to get into. And hopefully that's soon, because it's hard to sit around and have all these ideas and these great projects you want to do, but you just can't get them off the ground because, how do you push these products, right, that you're doing? But I saw a story that came down today with the owner of the Commanders, formerly the Washington Redskins, Dan Snyder, and he was talking about having enough dirt to take down the NFL. And I'm like, what are you doing? He said some things in there that I kind of like, whoa, because I've heard other people say this, and so I'll repeat it because it wasn't originated by me, but I've heard it because I've been around a lot of rooms where people broadcast and they talk about the NFL or the NBA. And I've heard when the NBA is mentioned, because, they have all these high-powered owners, right? And they kind of classify it as a mafia, like, it's the NFL mafia, and you don't mess with them. If you mess with the NFL mafia, you're going to get taken out. And so when I was reading those comments, the quotes that Dan Snyder was making or alleging about the NFL, it kind of took me back to what the people that I used to work with or was around. They would always bring the NFL as the NFL mafia. Like, hey, they'll take you out, and I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. And Dan Snyder made it clear. He's like, I'm not going to give up my franchise without a fight. And I get it. Like, dude, that franchise has gone through so much. But there was other ways I think that Dan Snyder could have done things. It was, the naming of that team. It was, that name has that been around since that organization, kind of like, they really kind of attached to that. The Redskins, the Washington Redskins. And there's still fans that are like, no, they will be nothing but the Redskins in my eyes. And you know what? That's passion. Fandom. Fandom will do that to you. So, I get the frustration with Dan Snyder, whatever's going on. This thing's going around all over Twitter. And, it's picking up steam. So people, when you see that, they want to know more. Like, what happened? Why is he irate? What's the deal? What's going on with Dan Snyder? What does he have on the NFL that he says he can take the whole thing down? And I saw a couple of former players come out and say, oh. So it'll be very interesting to see where this story ends up, by the end of this week. I mean, we got one more day, and I'm sure stuff is going to be coming out and be leaking out, and I'm sure we'll know more and more, right? But when you see that, I mean, it kind of feels like the NFL is coming after the Commanders, and they want change, and they will get what they want. The NFL owners will always, they got some power, but the players do also. So, it's a very interesting topic that just came out. And like I've always said on my podcast at Inside the Man Cave podcast show, is that I'm not here to talk as an expert. I'm just giving my opinion about it. And that's why we have these podcast platforms that we can express our opinions, and you can agree or disagree, and that's fine. That's why we're here. That's why I got the chat open. You can put your comments down there. I will read them, and we can go from there. Like, if you want to come on and disagree with me, that's fine. I will bring you on this show or on this thread right now, and you can defend the Commanders or the Washington Redskins or Dan Snyder or the NFL. Either one, I'm cool with it. That's why we have this. That's why I have this platform. I'm not a professional. I'm not a talk show host. I don't claim to be. I am pretty bad at this, but I'm going to keep doing it because I want to do it. I got the ability to do this, and I can talk a little bit, and I got a little circle of friends and people that followed me throughout my career, and it's cool that they will follow and support what I'm doing, and I appreciate that. But sometimes we're going to disagree on some of the things that I say or some of the things that I put up on my social media pages. And that's what it's all about. I mean, I love it. I love the banter. I love everything can't just be perfect, right? We don't live in a perfect world. So, of course, we're going to have disagreements. And that's even with like politics. Politics are one of those topics that, man, they get pretty heated. And I will not, I know you can get that politics talk anywhere you go, on radio, on podcasts. I mean, anywhere you want, you're getting it. So I'm not the place that you can come to for those answers or the conversations for that, because I'm not going to go there. I don't want to take that there. I'm going to keep this kind of like the way I want to do it, my little bubble of topics. I mean, I started out with some video that I had of Testament that was cool. And some people, that might not be your cup of tea. You're like, what is he doing? He's playing this and he's playing that. Like, it's okay. You don't have to watch or like or any of that. It's cool. But that's why I have this. Everybody, if you look down on YouTube or anything, people have things on there that's the way they do their stuff. So that's great that we have that kind of that platform. So I'm going to do my duty. I said duty. And come on here and go back and forth on a few topics and things that are sometimes they're not going to feel right. And it's not going to be like, why is he going there? And it'll be about music. It'll be about music, and it'll be about music, entertainment. I don't know. I love buying shoes, and I love reselling shoes, but I just saw something about Nike trying to cut down on that, and I'm trying to find out a little bit more. I think they're going after the bigger sellers who are doing that. But that's an interesting topic. See, I'll talk about stuff like that. Concerts that I attend, concerts that are coming to town and that are not coming to town. I brought up the fact yesterday about all the buzz about Blink-182 coming out and doing their reunion show. I don't know if it's a reunion. I don't know what it is. Well, that band had broken up and they came back. So, everybody was excited about it and talking about it, and that was trending. And I was like, why? I mean, Blink was cool then. I don't know if you can bring them back and they would still be that cool band, but some bands are doing that. Some bands are coming back and they got to follow, just a good fan base that they're able to tour and get out there and do what they love to do, right? And I'm all about that. But, in my eyes and my taste of music, I think that there was like one song. Let's see if we can find it here. There was one song that I liked about Blink-182. Let's see. And I forgot the name of that song. Yeah. So as I think about the Blink-182 song that I was saying that I like, where is it? Let's see. What is the name of that song? If you know the song that I'm thinking about or trying to think about, please let me know. Let's see if I have it on my other device here. Maybe I don't. But maybe I do. Who knows? Let's look. Yeah, this is it right here. All right, we'll play it after this political ad. I dug the intensity of this song. The video was but the song was cool. So I wouldn't go to the concert or just for this song. I just like the build up, but this is pretty cool. But this is the only song I really like from them. I don't know about you. Let me know on the chat or tweet at me at Johnny Compian on Twitter. I just like this build up right here. It's pretty cool. Let's check it out. Yeah, see, I just love the intensity of that song. I dig it. That's really cool. And then this last build up for the ending of the song it's my favorite part of this whole. It just makes this tune, and the harmonies are great. But I don't know about a tour. Maybe like a club tour. What do you think? Who knows? They'll probably draw. They'll sell out some cities. They're not coming to San Antonio. So there it is. Blink 182 coming back from the 90s into the 2022 era. Travis Barker never left us because that guy is involved in a lot of projects. He just loves playing music. It's in his soul, man. Travis Barker, Kardashian. He's a beast, man. I like him. He's cool. So there you go, Blink 182. I thought I'd share that with you guys. You know, it's cool to hear music like that from back in the day. It's awesome. And I don't know, I like going back with music. I've always said on my podcast that music really kind of dictates, you know, a majority of my day sometimes, because I love it. I go to bed thinking of music. I wake up thinking of music, and I probably dream about music. So I love just music, period. When something new comes out, like I just received in the mail today the new Lamb of God vinyl. Let's see if I can pull that up for you over here. Let's see. Yeah, the new Lamb of God came in. I don't know if you can see this. It's a cool cover, the new Lamb of God. And I've been waiting for this one because Omens, new Lamb of God. Pick it up. It's really good because I've already been listening to it on my Apple. I've downloaded it and listened. So I'll pop the vinyl open at some point and listen to it because I already got some good songs. What I'm waiting for right now is the new Machine Head. That's supposed to be really well. I've listened to a couple of songs on it, and it's killer. Machine Head had some San Antonio ties. Dave McClain, who played drums with Slayer, S.A. Slayer in San Antonio. So I dig me some Machine Head. The new Machine Head is coming out. And yeah, I can't wait for that. I don't know when exactly it's coming out. Whoa. Man, all these political ads, I hate them when these mudslinging things. I just can't deal with them. I need to jump back on YouTube Prime to not get these ads. Yeah, but, you know, Machine Head had some ties to San Antonio. I don't think McClain is with Machine Head anymore. I think he's playing. I think he was playing with. It was another killer heavy metal band. Man, the name slips my mind right now. But the new Machine Head is killer. Pick it up if you get into that stuff. It's cool. I came late into the Machine Head party because they were around. They were around for a while, but um, they're really good. Also picked up the new Cult album. Received that in the mail, I think like about a week ago. And then the new Queensryche. And man, there's a lot of stuff I want to get into about Queensryche. I've been a Queensryche fan since the beginning, a Seattle-based band. And man, there's just a lot to talk about Queensryche. Yeah, Todd LaTorre is the current lead singer of Queensryche. They only have two original members in Queensryche, which is Eddie Jackson, who played bass, and Michael Wilton, Whip, who plays guitar now. Scott Rockenfield's gone. He no longer plays with Queensryche. He exited pretty quick. Who knows what happened? I don't care about all that. Chris DeGarmo left years ago. I think after Here and Now Frontier. And then Jeff. Eddie Trunk had on Todd LaTorre on about a day ago. And they're getting ready to be on the road with Judas Priest, who will be doing their 50th anniversary tour. And Queensryche is opening up for them. So they were rehearsing somewhere, I think in Carolina. I'm not too sure. I'm not one of those guys who knows all the info where they're practicing and all that stuff. But that's what I'm hearing when I was listening to the Eddie Trunk show. But there's a couple of things that I heard from that interview, and Todd LaTorre and Eddie Trunk discussed a lot of different topics. And every time Jeff's name would come up or something about the past of Queensryche, I don't want to say it because I'm trying so hard to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, right? I know it wasn't a good exit for the way Jeff Tate left. I don't know all the details. There was a couple stories that came out, and it's like whatever. I don't care about any of that. I care more about you going in the studio, putting out some good music that we can have forever and ever, that I can go back and play whenever I want. That's what I care about. And listening to just the pure talents and chemistry of the history of this band, Queensryche. And I'm talking about history because we're going way back. They put out a few albums before Jeff Tate moved on, and DeGarmo and Scott Rockenfield. I give it to Eddie Jackson and to Michael Wilton for trying to keep the core of Queensryche alive for the fan base. Because I've met Michael Wilton, I've met Eddie Jackson, really good dudes. And I don't want to sound like Eddie Trunk and be like braggadocious about, oh yeah, let me text Eddie Jackson real quick. I'm not even close. I've just crossed paths being fans with them for so long. When I was younger, I wanted to get their autographs. I wanted to take a picture with them. Like during The Warning and Rage for Order and the first album, Queen of the Right. And yeah. So I go back. I got skin in the game. So of course I want to defend the history of Queensryche. So I was listening to this interview, and little things that they were talking about, LaTorre was really kind of coming back and trying to, kind of like kick dirt in Jeff Tate's face. And I had a problem with it. I'm like, dude, respect what is there. It's just like when Ripper Owens replaced Rob Halford when Rob went on his solo thing with Fight, and he went on his solo thing with Halford. And I remember seeing Judas Priest without Rob Halford. And Ripper Owens, another great guy that I've met, I crossed paths with. He's a great dude. I seen him play with Yngwie Malmsteen's band. I think it was in 2008. Awesome show. Fucking class act. Anytime he would get asked, all he had was nothing but respect and love for Rob Halford. And I'm sure it was the other way around too. Rob is a class act, and Rob wouldn't come back and you know. But when I heard this interview, and I would kind of like, it was like a ding. I would go back like, whoa, what did he just say? And it was hilarious to me. I was like, dude, don't be so intimidated by him. You know, Jeff Tate, he's moved on. Yeah, he had to sue for the rights to do certain songs and do what he had, and I'm glad that they got that together. The band, in an interview that Jeff Tate did, he talked about, because he was asked, you're like, hey, Jeff, do you think Queensryche, the original Queensryche, will ever get together for a big amount of money? And Jeff was clear and honest about it and said no. There was already an offer that was massive that was turned down by multiple people in the band. So that will never, ever, ever happen. I get it. It's done. Okay, fine. But now that you're at the helm, Todd LaTorre, and I got respect for you because, you've done some great work. Just like Journey came in and you replaced Steve Perry with that singer that they found, who was a great singer. I mean, the guy could go in there and step in there and hit those notes. And that's respect, okay? But, I get the fact that, you're the lead singer of Queensryche right now. Well, what is left of Queensryche? There's only 2 members, okay? I got a problem with that. I got a problem with you acting that way. Take it the way you want. I don't think you'll ever hear this, but I'm sure that that somebody's going to hear this and say, oh, dude, you're crazy. Well, you know what? Fight me on it. People will come back and attack Jeff Tate and say, well, he did this, he did that. Like I said in the beginning, I don't care. I don't have anything to do that. You know what I want to go down to my local record store and buy the new Jeff Tate album or the new Queensryche album, which I did. I have it right over here. Because I try to support, these bands because I enjoy the music. I've had since I was 12 years old. I was going to Hog Wild Music and picking up vinyl, Anvil, Pretty Maids, the Ramones, Accept, Judas Priest, Motorhead, the Sex Pistols, on and on. Anything plus local cassettes they would have there. The Hog Wild Records did a great job in providing, us fans with local music. And I don't know if they do that now, because I would go in there and I would look in that section where they did. The last thing I picked up that was kind of local, which was really not local, but they were always in San Antonio, which is the Watchtower vinyl that you can't find it. I mean, you can probably get one. I know Jason McMaster, the lead singer of the Dangerous Toys, has this website on with Dangerous Toys, which has tons of projects. I mean, you can probably go on there and score a vinyl if you wanted a Watchtower vinyl. And most of you are like, what the hell is Watchtower? But man, those were great things for us, for me as a youth, being able to go in there and pick up something that I had seen at the Cameo or at the Via or at the showcase or somewhere, at the Sunken Gardens opening up for a national band. It was always cool to be able to pick up some local music on cassette or whatever format they had, if they had vinyl, because, I think bands like Wizard had vinyl. S.A. Slayer had vinyl. I got that. But it was cool. But I go back because, the fan base will always be there if you really put out a great product and you have a loyal fan base like Queensryche did or has. But when you act that way, Todd LaTorre, it just doesn't come across well to a fan that has been there from the beginning. And that kind of rubs me wrong. It does. And you're going to say, oh, well, what does it matter? He's going to, well, I don't think he's done enough to act that way. And he says, well, I'm going on, I don't know how many albums. Well, dude, every single album that you've released, I've picked up. I've listened to every release that you guys have put out without Jeff Tate. And there's maybe one or two songs out of all those albums that are good. That if I was working on radio and I was a program director, I would put it on. Because a lot of bands don't get airplay like they did back in the day. I mean, it's on social media. And you're not even allowed to do that now. Even if I'm probably going to get copyrighted for playing the Machine Head and the other stuff I played. You're not, that's a no-no now. So how do you get that across? But I'm telling you, as a loyal fan of the band Queensryche, anything they do, anything that has to do with Queensryche, I'm all about it. But, from the beginning, they have always been a class act. And the way you take those things and you talk about them, it just sounds kind of, I don't know, it was kind of a turnoff. Anyway, enough of that, but no matter what, and I'll still be a Queensryche fan no matter what. And there was one, I haven't released it yet. I still have it. I haven't released the podcast, but I talked about something that came across Twitter, and I was like, whoa, this is something interesting. Def Leppard mentioned, I think Vince Neil as well, mentioned that they're going to Europe. They're going to take the stadium tour to Europe. And after that, I kind of heard, well, Mick Mars, what do people think about Mick Mars being replaced by John 5, formerly of White Zombie? And I was like, wait a minute, what? What did I just read? Yeah. And it was disappointing to me to hear that, because I'm like, I mean, how could that be? How could that be that, such an iconic part of that band could be taken out and replaced by John 5? I have all kinds of respect for John 5. I'm really not a fan of his solo stuff, and I'm not a big fan of White Rob Zombie's stuff. I mean, some of the stuff he has is cool, but it's not something that I'm, I really get into. And but when I heard that, I was like, well, there is no Motley Crue without Mick Mars, right? I mean, you could replace Tommy Lee, which it's happened before, but replacing Mick Mars, I think that would be the end of it. I mean, they wouldn't be that. It was just like when you replaced Vince Neil with John Corabi. It wasn't the same. Even the record exec came out and said, dude, you need to bring Vince back. This isn't working. We waste all this money, and we had to change it up because it wasn't working. Yeah, so it's just something I'm going to put out. I'm going to release on one, maybe later on tonight. I'll release that podcast talking about that story about Motley Crue replacing Mick Mars with John 5 of White Zombie. And it was just kind of disappointing to hear it. Yeah, so I don't know. There was some other things that I had seen on Twitter yesterday, and I was laughing about it because it involved Elon Musk, Austin's new resident, Elon Musk, who the owner of Tesla. And he put out a tweet saying, please buy this so I can buy Twitter. And I started laughing because it's a perfume, I think, or cologne. It's called Burnt Hair. And I don't know what exactly the marketing line was for it. But it said, lean over a candle and let us do the work. I thought that was hilarious. And so I went on their boring site or whatever they had, boring products. I don't know what the website was that Elon Musk has. And the bottle was there. It had sold over 5,000 bottles of this perfume or cologne. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's called Burnt Hair. And it's by Elon Musk. I need a bottle of it. I just don't want to drop $100 on it. I just want to smell it. I mean, because, us guys, what do we use? Brute, Old Spice, Drakkar, Gucci, Sauvage, all that stuff, right? Sauvage, like everybody was. I mean, don't you want to smell like Johnny Depp? You got to get the Sauvage, man. The Vaj. Yeah, so this Burnt Hair perfume or cologne. I don't know exactly. I can't confirm what it is. So either way, I have to get my hands on this perfume or cologne, and I need to sample it. It's funny as hell. It's great marketing by Elon Musk because he wants to buy Twitter. He needs more money. Like, he doesn't have enough. I thought it was great. Yeah, so let's see here. I'll put my glasses on. Okay, so I got a buddy of mine, Joe. He says, can't chime in because I'm driving right now, but I'm still tuning in. By the way, got you 2 more subscribers this past weekend. See, that's great. Joe, I appreciate it. Man, we go back, way, way back. And thanks for, getting me 2 new subscribers. That's awesome. We'll get beers soon. I owe you 2 beers for the 2 subscribers that we agreed on. Anytime you get me a subscriber, I'll buy you a beer. And that goes for any of you guys out there who are listening and tuning in. You get me more subscribers, I'll buy the beer and my barbecue. Because I saw my buddy Joe. I don't know if he wants to be on, so I don't want to disclose his last name because I don't have his permission. So I seen he's always barbecuing. That's awesome. I love barbecuing. But Joe, if you need help barbecuing, let me know. I'm your guy, man. I am a pit master. I have an electric smoker, and I got I got Oklahoma Joe's pit. Dude, there you go. I'm always ready and willing to come barbecue for you guys. So let me know. I'll bring the beer. And we can barbecue sometime, hang out, catch up. It's good to hear from old friends that are always friends and never went away. We just kind of lost contact. That's the beauty of it, and that's the whole part of doing this platform here is being able to reconnect with old friends and new friends. So that's much appreciated. Man, I can go on because it'll be cool to bring my buddy on if he ever decides to come on and talk on here. and we can go back and talk about some of the old times and some of the just the fun that we had. A lot of good times, man. But there was a couple of things else that I wanted to bring up. Let's see here on my list. Oh yeah, do you guys like watching junk TV? Junk TV to me is like reality shows. They're all over the place on TV right now. So, I mean, they have love at first sight or marriage at first sight. The parents love this. I mean, some crazy. I mean, these producers at these shows are working overtime to come up with these brilliant names to get you hooked, and watching these reality shows. And I'm really not into those. I think when Survivor first started, I enjoyed it because I used to like to watch the hot chicks, and and then you would watch it, and as time went on Survivor, they would just get like dirtier and just uglier and just like, oh man. Yeah, so, and now you can get naked and afraid. Naked and afraid. So they blurred out the private parts. So you show up to a remote area in some like remote area where there's nobody around, and it comes on. I think it's on the Discovery Channel. So if you've never seen it, go check it out. It's stupid TV. It's junk TV because it just takes up a lot of time that you can use doing something else. But it's good to watch for a couple of minutes and get a laugh and just, just be entertained. And it's cool that we can do that, right? But yeah, they got that Naked and Afraid. So these people show up. It's always a guy and a girl that show up. And so you get a choice of a weapon or whatever you want to take. I think you get like a choice of like 2 things that you can take with you. Because you can't have any shoes. You can't have nothing. You're just like totally naked in the elements. So you walk up to a stranger and you just start dropping everything, your clothes. And some people enjoy it. And some people are like really uncomfortable because sometimes you have these guys on there. It looks like they hadn't seen a naked woman in a long time. And they kind of look like, whoa. And they're looking right at where. They're like, whoa. And then they don't end up getting along. Because a few hours in and this guy keeps staring at your private parts. And, it's hilarious. So anyway, there's that. And then there's this other show that I really, really have a problem with, but I can't stop watching it. Yeah. Yeah, I can't. And then they have the season finale tomorrow. This show is called Love After Lockup. Okay. And this show has, I don't know what network it's on. Just look it up. Look up your local TV guide and check it out. But it's Love After Lockup. So what they do is there's somebody that's incarcerated, and there's somebody on the outside that they've been pen paling with, and they're kind of connecting. And that person ends up sending the person that's incarcerated money and more money and more money and more money. And sometimes these people that are incarcerated come out, and they come out and they have other agendas. So, hey, it was cool. You kind of supported me through my time that I was incarcerated, but I have other stuff going on, so I got to move on. And it's just hilarious. There's so many different storylines. And what gets me is that they end up getting endorsements. They end up getting other shows. They end up getting other opportunities. So it's amazing to me how that works, right? how reality, like these reality people that been incarcerated and in trouble, they end up doing very well for themselves. They're actually doing probably way better than I am. And I've never been incarcerated. So maybe I should get incarcerated and get a pen pal and have them, send me money and then come out and then do whatever, right? I don't know. I just have a problem with it, how gullible and stupid people are sometimes. And some of these people that are sending money are not bad looking at all. They're not bad. They could find somebody out in the outside world that's productive, that hasn't been in any kind of drama or bad crime. Because then when that person comes out and you introduce them to your family, all of a sudden your parents are like, what is wrong with you? You went to college, you got a great job, and you got this loser that just came out of prison and was involved in a major crime ring, and you're bringing him into your house and you're giving him everything. And this person's like, no, they're great. No. Like, no. And what happens? They end up kind of reverting back to their old ways. And it's just great. It's great smut TV. Check it out. If you get a chance, check it out. I think it's hilarious. Check it out. Tell me what you think. Send me a DM on Twitter at Johnny COMPIAN. Follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Inside the Man Cave Podcast Show. And I'm going to try to jump in here maybe later on tonight and get some more hours in. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in and giving me a couple of minutes of your time. It means a lot. So, pass the word around like Joe did and get me some more subscribers. I need to get to 50 in order to be able to, I need to get to 50 followers in order to be able to go live at any point on my mobile device. So till then, I got to sit in here in the man cave and go live. There's so many things I want to do on the outside, but I can't do that yet until I get 50 subscribers. So I'm at 38. Let's try to get this done by the end of the year. If we can get 50 by the end, I'll be happy. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers. I hope that, I do a good job for you guys and entertain you a little bit on your way home, like Joe was listening. And I'm sure there's other people listening all over, friends that I got in other states, and it means a lot. You guys take it easy. Enjoy some football tonight because I won't be able to. I don't have the NFL Prime channel on Amazon, so I won't be watching Thursday Night Football. I have to wait until Sunday. So, what I could do is I can listen to that on my XM app. I mean, I don't care. It's football, right? But I wish I can watch it live. Anyway, you guys enjoy your football Thursday or whatever you're doing.